deep diving into these cases is like dancing with the devil. But when you dance with the devil doesn't change. He changes you. Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday to y'all. How's everybody doing? So yeah, I'm on the computer, so fingers crossed it won't freeze up. But if it does, it does. Whatever. Got lots of people up in here already. It's good to see. So yeah, Mekcee is going to be coming up pretty quick here. He's got the link. If you don't know who Mekcee is, you should. But yeah, we got true crime. We got paranormal stuff. The dude even makes his own music. So, I mean, what else could you possibly want in a creator? So if you aren't subbed to Mekcee, go ahead and do it. We got right there. Thank you, honey. Actually, I will pin his link there. So yes, if you want to sub to Mekcee, check him out. The link is pinned in the chat right there. Please sip the coffee slowly while looking intently into the lens and say yummy. Yummy. You sick bastard. Oh yes, and obviously his channel's in the description too, in case you missed it. But yeah. Well, without any further ado, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mekcee.
Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, brother. Hey, what's up, everybody? Oh, shoot. God, man. Just getting up early stuff. Whoa, what is this? I'm used to staying up late, chasing demons.
Oh, yeah, you're at least an hour behind me or something. It's 10:30 for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's early for me. It's 9:30 right here, so it's all good, though. How you guys been?
Oh, we've been doing pretty good.
Busy, huh?
Yeah, YouTube's been busy and work's been busy.
Oh, no, I hear you there. I hear you.
Yep. How about you, man?
Oh, God. Always busy, man. You know me. If it's not doing investigations or covering some kind of true crime or trying to taking care of the kids, going to matches, doing the family thing, running all over. And then I got work on top of that, too. So I'm always busy, man. Busy.
There you go. Ugh. So you started your channel or started putting out videos like, what, a year and a half ago?
Yeah, a little over a year ago. So yeah, it was probably about June, I believe. About June is when I started putting out videos. So
yeah, you grew fast, man.
Yeah, thankfully, thank God, man. It's been crazy. There's a lot of people out there, which I'm super thankful for, that have been super supportive of the channel. You know, just they've been there always, and I'm grateful. And it's been a crazy ride, honestly. Like it's you know, too, like YouTube is like, you know, you're right here, and then all of a sudden, like we had just like so much drama and so much things, and then it's like dip and then up and then dip. It's like a roller coaster ride. And
yeah, it really is.
Yeah, one of the things though is like I don't understand why people can't ever let's just all get along, man. Try to find people and try to help for the cause. What are we here for? What are we trying to do? What are we trying to accomplish?
Yeah. We see the same cycle with these cases. Once you run out of information, then people just start eating each other.
Yeah. And you know what I think it is too, Prairie? You guys know me. I'm with the paranormal. I do the, you know, paranormal true crime investigation. So I keep it on like a lot of it is on like the paranormal side of it. And I know people think I'm crazy, but the cases that we cover, I swear, are surrounded by demonic energy. And I really think that that's why. Well, what is a demon's plan? What do they try to do? They try to create chaos. They try to create destruction. And so when they can't do so within people coming together for cases and different things, trying to find, you know, either children or trying to help,
there's demonic entities on the watts and the walls.
Yep. And I've said it many times, Mrs. Cher, that I could hear Mrs. Cher in the background. That's awesome. Hey, what's up, Cher? But that's what I really think it is. Like the two biggest ones that I've seen so far since we've been here has been the Watts. The Watts was just an absolute circus. It's an absolute circus. And I know that there's demonic. I went to that house physically, and I know that there was demonic presence there. And I know that it wasn't just one, two, because on several occasions that I went to that Watts house, it said Legion, which Legion means many demons. So
that's gonna give me a strobe attack over here. I gotta figure out how to turn this off.
There is something about that case. It's just you're almost addicted to it.
Yeah.
And it's just so much negative. It's really an odd feeling.
And no matter how hard you try to keep it positive too, that's the thing. If anybody who knows anything about like spiritual or demonic or you know, it's called spiritual warfare. So when you get into these, no matter how hard you try to keep it positive, to try to do the right thing or try, you know, those type of things, you got to remember you're battling spiritual forces that you can't see. So that's their job. That's like what they do, is try to create chaos. So no matter how hard you try, sometimes they're going to try just as hard, and they got a lot more of them than they do us.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's hard to stay positive. And well, I mean, just true crime in general, you're always talking about awful things. So it's hard to stay positive just in that. Never mind when you have dark forces working against you too.
Yeah, it really is. It's hard to stay positive because you're trying the best you can, you know, like for instance, in the Summer Wells case right now, you know, it's a real hot topic right now, but it's kind of the same with that. You want to stay hopeful. You want to stay positive because, I mean, obviously, ultimately, what's the goal? The ultimate goal is we want Summer to come home safely. That's what we want. Yeah. I mean, if we're just being honest, I mean, I don't think that there's many people out there that have ill intentions. I don't think that I can think of any creator, regardless of, you know, how shady they are or whatever. I don't think that I could say that I can think of any creator off the top of my head that would be so selfish as to say that I want this to keep going just because of my channel. I think that if they came home, I think honestly and genuinely, I think everybody would be grateful if Summer came home.
I hope so. I definitely want to believe that.
And that's what we hope for, right? We hope for the best because it's a child. And, you know, my heart always goes out to children. Like, you know, I have children of my own too. So I always think of them. And it sucks because sometimes I take those emotions into these ones, like trying to locate or trying to help, like, especially when I do the spirit box session. So when I do the spirit box session, it's always like, I think about it in the back of my mind, like, what if it was my child? You know, what if it was my kid who was out there and I couldn't find them? And then what the same goes for what if I was battling, you know, some of what Don and Candace are. You know, I know that they put themselves in a corner sometimes, so many times, but what if I was in that situation too? And what if I truly was innocent and everybody's attacking me? So it's hard because you see inconsistencies, you see things, and it's like, we really want to help, but we're trying to figure out, you know, what is it? Is it that? Is it them? Is it someone else? Is it, you know, we go into all these different things trying to help, and it's tough. It's tough to decipher sometimes.
It really is.
Especially when we honestly don't have all the pieces of evidence too. So we can give our theories to it, but I know that, you know, the TBI, the FBI, all those different places, they don't allow the public certain information for reasons. And so when we don't have all of the information and we're only going off of what we're given, sometimes we only see, you know, a quarter or part of what the true story is. So
Well, that's just it. Law enforcement isn't telling us everything they have, so
Nope, they sure aren't.
we just have to go with what we know and look through all the little details, and hopefully we find that missing piece.
That's what we're hoping, right? We hope that we can put it together. Oh man! So what do you feel? What do you feel, Prairie Boy, and as far as the spiritual realm? Do you believe in like the spiritual realm inside of things? I'm curious to like know like your thoughts on it.
I absolutely do. I'm a fairly religious guy, so I do believe in heaven and hell and angels and demons, and yeah, I do think that all that is real. When you do your spirit box,
Mhm.
there's something about it that I can't listen to it. Like
It's too much.
It's so jarring to me, and I can't make anything out. I don't know if it's my MS thing or what, but when I hear it, it's just like it's making me like flinch all the time.
Yep. It's overwhelming. It can be. When I first started doing those spirit box sessions too, you got to remember, like, I know a lot of people like will disagree with me, but my thought on it, my take on it is we're talking in the spiritual realm. I don't believe that we're talking directly to Summer or whoever we're doing the spirit box session on. My belief is we're talking to a spirit or demonic entity that knows about, because what do they know? They know different things behind the scene that we can't see.
Mm.
So I believe that it's that, and they know truth. So are we going to get truth? Sometimes. Are we going to get lies? Sometimes. But scarily, if you've seen some of the different investigations that we've done, especially recently, they've been very, like, eerily accurate. The Suzanne Morphew case came up with the guy she was having the affair with, like a month and a half prior to that information being released. So we didn't even have that information. It just came up with the name. It said, we were asking, how can we find you? And it said, ask Jeff, I believe is his name. Well, Jeff was the guy that she was having an affair with at the time. And it was saying to ask Jeff. So that's one of the ones that was crazy. Another one was the Brian Laundrie and the Gabby Petito case, confirmed like months prior to what had happened, like how he had killed Gabby, him killing himself, him being in a tormented hell. And so like it was very specific to, even talked about her being strangled, and that was the cause of death. And talked about Rose, which was her, I think, her best friend at the time, and then talked about her motto even, which was the "Let It Be." So it's hard not to, not believe in something when you're getting so many different answers that are so that intertwine with what the case is and what the details of it, and tell specific details before information's released. And that's honestly why we try to do these spirit box sessions, is because we're trying to get information that hasn't been leaked yet, that hasn't been said by, whomever, whether it be their county, whether it be the FBI, whether it be, whomever. We're trying to get that information that hasn't necessarily been leaked yet. So. Yeah.
And when you come up with a piece of information that hasn't been put out yet, it's pretty hard to say, what did you just guess? Like, no,
yeah,
like there's definitely something legit about it.
Yeah. And I think that's why it's so fascinating to people. And we want to try to educate people too. Because I know a lot of people will go and try to do the spirit box sessions. I'm so leery of people doing that. And the reason is because you don't know who you're talking to. And if you open yourself up to it, you can get demonically oppressed. You can get demonically possessed. You have to know a lot about it. And I know people think it's a game now. It's crazy because back in the day, it used to be like really looked down upon like doing certain things like this, especially like Ouija boards and things.
Yeah.
And it was looked down upon for reasons, but now it's like the tide has turned, and like people are experimenting with it and they're trying different things with it. And then you see people start having problems in their home with demonic oppression, demonic possession, and infestation, and things that people don't understand. Why am I having so many bad things happening in my house? Why am I having so many bad things happening in my life? Why am I having so many bad things that are just happening in general? Well, you remember like 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago when you did a Ouija board session and you told them, go ahead and come on into me and those things. Like, people don't take those into consideration and they don't think it's legitimate. And then things start happening.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not something you want to just screw around with. That's for sure.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Oh, God. I know you guys have been so closely covering like the Summer Wells case too. And I know you guys have been more involved than a lot of people, obviously, because you've got to speak directly to some of the sources too. So
yeah, mostly Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
That was fairly early on.
Yeah,
it's really interesting to see that. Like, if you see Dawn on a live nowadays compared to how he behaved back when Cher was interviewing him, there's a huge difference.
Oh yeah,
he's just it's like two different people.
Yeah, it is. It really is night and day. I've seen the interviews that you were between it. It's crazy.
Your stepson doing yesterday at school?
What?
Leland.
Yeah. Your
stepson got upset with a student. He was upset with a classmate, called him a dick, gave him the finger, and walked away.
Oh,
and
Jesus.
he got wrote up for it.
Oh, God.
Oh, man. I feel like I'm frying in here. It's so hot. I turned my heater up this morning. I forgot to turn it on last night. Woke up freezing, and now I'm like,
no, it's too hot.
It's too hot. I'm frying now. I'm frying. We're never happy, right? We're never happy.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. First world problems. So what made you get into like the whole true crime thing?
Well, originally, it's funny. I know you guys remember Save Robbie. Mm-hmm. Save Robbie had brought me by. I didn't even know anything about the Chris Watts case originally, and so which is funny is in my own backyard. I've always been interested, but I always was more so like geared towards like serial killers, and because I like to know like the psyche like behind it. What is the reason behind serial killers? So I would always watch like documentaries and things like that. But I've been in paranormal since I was young. God, I'm talking like 16 years old. I started doing paranormal, and I used to do not legitimate paranormal investigations like I do now, going with all the equipment, but I would go to all these different locations, whether it be an insane asylum that was abandoned, and we would go try to do that just about every weekend. We would go and do these ghost hunting expeditions. So I'd always been interested in the serial killers and like the true crime portion of things and stuff like that, and always been doing paranormal. But eventually I started taking it like more serious, and I started doing that. I've had many experiences in my life with the paranormal. And so what originally sparked like this whole thing and how the channel came about was I was working with Save Robbie, and then serial killer, exactly. CDT serial killers are fascinating.
Mm-hmm. They are.
And I always try to figure out why, and I try to figure out, is it something spiritual, or is it something that's just off with them in general? And that's really fascinating to me. It's really fascinating to try to see. But anyway, so we were doing that, and then once I got in this Chris Watts, it's like I kind of got sucked into it. And it's like you said, like when you get sucked in and you become very drawn into a case, it's like one thing after another. I was just like, I couldn't read enough about it. I couldn't learn enough about it. I was trying to figure it out. I was trying to, how can I do something to try to help? And then, so I started doing, investigations over at the house, and I started doing spirit box sessions over at the house, and I started taking equipment, and then I just started getting more and more equipment. And just before you knew it, I was full-fledged into it. I was like, my gosh, I could try to see what I can do to help, especially since we were getting answers with different things that were very, very relevant to these cases. So, we've gone on a lot of different ones and investigations and cases for it. So, but it's not something you see a lot of too. And I thought in the back of my mind, I said, you see a lot of paranormal investigations, but honestly, there's not a ton of paranormal true crime investigations. and they kind of go hand in hand if you think about it, because it's something that has happened that's very tragic, and usually it involves either murder, killing, kidnapping, rape, on and on and on and on. Something that's very tragic, and a lot of times those have some kind of spiritual warfare behind them too as well. So they kind of intertwine, and I'm like, I got to start trying to investigate some of these cases, like with these things, and if we can help, several things. One, educate about God, educate about demons, and then to try to help people, and then in the process we get to help try to see if we can figure out any information to try to help actually somebody out there like Summer Wells, or try to figure out answers for the Watts case, or try to we've gone on many different ones. John Bonet, we can name them on and on and on, but
I remember watching you do. You were doing one in your car. I can't remember. I want to say it was John Bonet, but I'm not sure. But I remember you were having like chest pains and stuff. Do you remember which one that was?
God, which one was it? I think it was John Bonet. It was when I was in front of their house. I started having chest pains. But I've had several problems, honestly, with some of these cases that I've done. I remember one of them. God, I don't remember who it was, but Gabby Petito? I don't know if it was Gabby Petito. Gabby Petito, I felt like I was choked, which she ended up being strangled. And during one of the investigations when I was doing it, I felt like somebody like choked me. And so it was a very, like, people don't understand, like, I can actually physically feel some of these things sometimes, especially when I go on investigations. I've been choked on the Gabby Petito one. I've been made to vomit on a few of them, on a few different cases. Like where it makes you just like so sick. Other ones, I remember on the Watts case, I remember I became very disoriented and started like almost like feeling like seeing like visions and things. And like I became like overwhelmed with like sadness. Like it was when I was in front of the Watts house, and I just became like uncontrollably like sobbing. And I'm like, oh my God, like I feel so stupid. I'm over here uncontrollably sobbing on the live. I'm like, my God, I don't even want to look at the camera. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. So yeah, it takes a toll sometimes. So it's tough from that. But with that too, also, I started taking it more and more seriously. So I became an ordained minister, and then I went and got my certifications for demonology and advanced scientific theory. So, which are on the wall behind me right here. These are those things. So I started to take it more serious and started to get more educated. So, the more education you have on something, the more you can combat it. So.
Yeah. Oh God, Cher's yelling at somebody. Uh-oh.
It's funny. She gets so passionate about things sometimes.
Oh, she's a fireball. Yeah,
It's so funny.
She's definitely fire and I'm ice.
The two of you, because you're so calm and chill and collected, and like Cher's like very passionate, and she's like riled up about things really easy. Like she's very, very passionate. So you guys are like complete like polar opposites.
We really are. Yeah.
It's so cool to see you guys intertwine, how you guys work with it though, because especially when you get you guys together on the channel, like you're just so mellowed and chilled out, and like sometimes like when she's on the live, she'll get so riled up, and you're just sitting there and you're like,
yep, this is not long. What else can I do? Because I know if I start feeding into it, she's gonna spike.
Yeah.
So I gotta stay level to help keep her grounded, and she helps me get a little bit more excited too. So it works.
Yeah, it does. You guys work good. You guys work very well together. You guys do great. Your videos are awesome too, by the way. Like I love like video editing and stuff, and like I'm a computer guy, so I like all that stuff. You do a very great job. So hats off to you. On your edit. Thank you.
Yeah, your intro before your spirit box session with Summer, that was really good.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. I'm fortunate. I have a team that helps me out, try to do all these stuff. I'm like, we try to orchestrate everything. It's like we work together as a well-greased team. It's like, and they've been with me long enough to know, what does he want? What does Mekcee want? And I'll just start, okay, we need to do this. 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 Okay, I'm going to grab this clip. You grab that clip. And then, so it works together well to try to create things like that. So it's helpful. Don't feed the bear. Don't feed the bear. Oh, that's awesome. You see the shirt that I'm wearing too? Zach Baggins, Haunted Museum.
Oh no.
Yeah, Zach Baggins Haunted Museum.
Okay.
We just we just went to the museum. Again, this is like my third time going. If you guys ever go out to Las Vegas, I'm telling you, go to this museum. It's crazy. You will love it. Not only for the haunted, there's so many different crazy things. Like they have Dr. Kevorkian. You know who Dr. Kevorkian is?
Mm-hmm.
They have the suicide van, like the actual van in there.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they have all kinds of things. Ted Bundy's glasses, his last bag, the duffel bag of like the mask and the pick and all that stuff that he had. He's got like a whole, like John Wayne Gacy. He's got a section of all his paintings and all his writings and his different things. And Charles Manson.
And it's the actual stuff or replicas?
Yeah, it's the actual stuff. He's got the actual stuff. Charles Manson, he has the last prison suit that he was in with like blood on it. And he's got this one guy who was kind of weird. He did a painting of Charles Manson, and when they did cremated him, he took his ashes. He painted Charles Manson in blood and then put his ashes in the eyes. Like they have really, really crazy things. Just crazy things.
Yeesh.
It's really fascinating. Oddfellows, he's got some of the skeletons from the people from Oddfellows. They would go and look at the mortality in people. So it's like skeletons. And so you'll go and you'll look inside of the skeleton's eyes. And that's what they used to do. They make them used to stay there for hours at a time. Mekcee, thank you for checking out the video I sent you on Facebook. I appreciate it. Oh, no problem. Small Town Eric, thank you.
Thanks, Small Town. Yeah, that sounds like a place I'd like to see. Because I was always drawn into, serial killers, but just, I was always fascinated with murder in general.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like
how could people get to that point where they want to take someone off this planet forever?
Yeah. Yeah, it's that's what I'm saying. Like serial killers and just murder in general is a very fascinating thing because, like, to me, I think there's only like a certain scenario where I'd be able to do that. Yes, please do. Seth, what's up, Seth? That's awesome.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I know there's scenarios. Well, pretty much all of us in the right scenario, we could.
Yeah, we could do it. It's like if we're trying to protect our family, if somebody comes in and threatens your life, and it's either you or them. I know most people, although some won't admit it, I think most people would, if they choose, if it's their life or your life, I think most people would choose their life. If you're being threatened, if someone's willing to take your life. So.
Yeah, if it's like self-defense or defense of others, definitely. But for people just to do it out of aggravation, it's always been fascinating to me.
Yeah, it really is. It's a crazy thing. And I know a lot of people probably don't know this on your channel about me. Like I say it very rarely, but my grandfather was murdered too. He used to own several shops, and one of them was he had a bar, and they had propped the back door open and snuck in and came in and we're trying to rob him. And they ended up shooting him in the stomach, and he ended up passing away too. So, it kind of hits closer to home, with murders and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty scary. I think I do remember you telling me that story a while ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago since we talked about it. I had done a little part investigation of it, and I talked to the people that own it now, and they were going to let me do an investigation, and I kept going back and forth on it, and I was trying to set it up, and I think eventually I'll get out there, but It's tough because it hits so close to home. It's tough. You get weird mixed emotions in it. So.
Has Mekcee ever done a spirit box with Summer? If so, what's his take? He actually just did one the other day.
Yeah, I just did one. Which hopefully we'll have we call it the findings. Well, hopefully we'll have the findings to see what we had. I don't know if you saw that little snippet, but it was kind of crazy that came up with when we asked what city, because we were trying to demand what city, where's Summer at, what city? Ended up saying Rogersville. So it ended up saying like right where her home's at.
So I guess she wasn't taken very far. What's your if you had to give a theory about what happened, what would you say?
That's a tough one. It depends on which day you ask me.
Yeah, I know, right?
Whenever they start talking or somebody else starts talking about the case, I'm like, I think I have an idea, and then it kind of throws me off. So I don't know. I know Candace she's been a very interesting person to watch when she gets questioned.
Yeah.
And you know me, I don't like to try to point the fingers on anybody, because especially like with people that we don't know, I hate to like point a finger, but I think that something happened, and I think they might know a little bit more than they're saying. And I don't know if it was an accident or if it was planned. I can't figure that out yet. But I think something happened to somebody. To me, nothing adds up. Nothing adds up. You can't tell me that you went and you fixed your mom's knee brace, and within 2 minutes, Summer disappeared out of the back and then just was gone.
Yeah.
And the place that they're at is a rural area, so it's not like there's, where they're at, it's hard to get in and out without being seen. So
yeah, like a vehicle driving up, they would hear that.
Yeah, I just don't see somebody parking it down the road where they were saying, and then coming up to grab Summer, and then going back down to get out of there so that they're not seen in here. That would be a lot of premeditated things in order to get Summer.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, someone coming up on the property and taking Summer away within that time frame. Yeah. I don't buy that.
I just can't jive with it. I just can't jive with the story. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And I don't think I'm not as naive to think. I know that the police dropped the ball on a lot of different things, but I'm not naive to believe that they don't have other information. And they're not keeping a very close eye on Candace and Don. So I don't believe that that's not the case. I just believe that they're not releasing everything that they have, and trying to get, probably just like they usually do, try to get as much evidence as you can to make sure it's a rock solid thing.
Yeah. Yeah. They want to make sure it's a slam dunk before they make a move.
Yeah. Yeah. Because what happens if you don't? You've seen it too many times in too many other cases where it's not a slam dunk. You come in prematurely, and then what happens? They end up walking because you don't have all your ducks in a row.
Then everyone gets shit on, and it doesn't matter if you get new evidence. They're like, well, I'm not gonna go down that road again.
Yep. Too late.
Thanks, Valkyrie.
Oh, thank you, Valkyrie.
Summer's in the mud.
Yeah, I've heard that. I actually heard that on the spirit box, I think, at one point too. Summer's in the mud or in the lake, or so. I don't know. Water. I think it was water.
Water keeps coming up all the time. Yep.
Yeah. Summer's in the water.
But I definitely agree. I don't buy that 2-minute window thing. I don't know. That just makes me think that Candace knows more.
Yeah.
Whether or not she did anything, still don't know that. But
yeah, that's what I don't know either. I can't figure out what she knows. I think she knows something, because she gets very pulled back from it when somebody starts drilling into her. She doesn't want to talk anymore. She's like, no, I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't do this. I can't do this. And
yeah,
I know
she just breaks down.
If it was me, and I can't say this is for everybody, but I know most people who are parents would be like this. I don't give a shit. Like, I would open my doors. I'd be like, take any information. I will give you my whole life story. I don't care. I just want to find my kid. I just want to find my kid. You can dig up all my dirty skeletons in my closet, everything that I have. Look, here, I'll lay it all out for you. Here's everything that I've done in that. Because what would be your ultimate goal? My ultimate goal would be, I want to find my daughter. That would be my ultimate goal. If it was, for instance, Summer, in my case, it would be my sons, but, that's what you want, right? You would want that. You would want that transparency so that you can get to the end goal, which is finding your daughter, which is Summer, finding her. And I just can't get on board. There's too many inconsistencies with the story. There's the story doesn't add up. None of it makes sense. And most of the time when you have that many inconsistencies and that many things that just don't add up, sadly, it ends up being somebody closer to the family that has something that they're hiding.
Yeah, exactly. And I didn't want to, like, Cher has always been about the more conspiracy planning, many people involved, and I always wanted to kind of stay away from that. But the more I watch and everything, the more it seems like that's kind of a legit thing, because everybody has lied. Like even witnesses, like Allie, they've all lied.
Yeah.
So like why would they do that?
Why lie? Yeah, why lie about it? Yeah, and that's when you start seeing those conspiracies, those different things. It's like, oh god, it's too many people. Too many people lying. Crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I wouldn't put it past that either. I wouldn't put it past the conspiracy thing, because it's just like I was saying, nothing's adding up that Candace is trying to put into place. And I know it sounds stupid, but what was it, the Cornbread Mafia or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
I know it's not necessarily them, but something along the lines. She got really defensive when like that stuff started being brought up. Really defensive, and she didn't want to talk about anything anymore. So that makes me think that there's something not necessarily intertwined with them, but with like a conspiracy or a cover up or something that she knows, or I just don't see how a little girl can just disappear out of your sights like that. And you saw the conditions too. Like, I don't like to talk trash about people that have poor living conditions, but I also am a firm believer in like try to do the best you can for your children, at least,
Yeah, they could have kept the house clean. It's small, but it didn't have to be dirty.
Yeah, you may not have much, but why not at least provide a little bit of environment of safety for them?
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of a mixed bag, and lots of people feel really strongly that the kids were neglected, and some say no, they weren't, they're just poor. But I mean, both Donna and Candace have lost children.
Yeah, I say there's a difference between poor and just kind of lazy and neglect, and that looks like, because I've seen poor people. I've been around poor people, but there's poor people that take care of their stuff. They may not have much, and it may not be the most extravagant, and it might not be the most beautiful thing, but there's a lot of people that are poor that take care of their stuff and are proud. They may not have much, but they're proud of it. But then you have the other side of the coin that are just, that, unfortunately. And it's sad because, obviously they had multiple children. So they're living in that environment. So that's tough. I can't say, well, maybe they didn't love their kids, or maybe they love the kids, or I don't know. That gets into a whole nother avenue of stuff.
Yeah, I think, with what Cher ended up hearing, and she actually recorded it, that she kind of describes as possible motive. It, especially with Candace, it does seem like she almost prefers to not have any children. I can't play the clip, but it was bad. Like it's not something grieving parents should be saying.
Yeah, I've heard definitely questionable clips coming from both of them. Not only Candace, but Dawn too.
Oh God, pretty much every time Don speaks, it's like, what the hell?
That's what I don't get to. Like, I can't understand it. Like, why would you want to continue speaking when you just keep making yourself look in a certain way? Like, maybe you just don't give a shit about what people say about you, but like, why keep going on? Why keep going on it?
I don't know. I was trying to figure that out too, because I mean, when we were doing our interviews, we felt like we were helping. Felt like we were getting information, but now it's just become a circus.
Yep.
Where half the time people don't even mention Summer; they're just talking about Dawn.
Yeah, and that's why we did the intro the way that we did. When I portrayed that to my team, I wanted to go back because I felt like the Watts case did the same exact thing. It stopped being about summer. That's why I took all of those clips of all those different creators and summer. Like, let's remember who we're here for. Not for the drama, not for the Dawn and the Candace show, but more so, what are we trying to accomplish? Well, we're trying to bring Summer home. We want Summer home, right? Isn't that what everybody's goal is supposed to be? Is to do that?
Supposed to be. And
so that's why I did it, so we could show like both sides of the coin. It's like Summer, but then we show it becoming about something that it's not about, and we want to make sure, hey, and then that's why at the end of the clip we show it and show her, just her solo, like, let's remember who we're fighting for. Let's remember who we're trying to help. So
yep.
she's still passionate back there.
Oh yeah. She was talking to her kids, actually.
She's even passionate with the kids. All right.
Oh, she's the mom.
You can say hello.
I say hello back. Well, you're off the phone.
But... You doing okay, Miss Cher? We're concerned about you. You're passionate over there.
Doing all right. I heard some yelling.
Oh, we're just loud when we're on. Funny.
Ah, okay.
Everyone's trying to holler everything at once to me, and yeah.
Mm.
No, they were laughing.
Good.
They were making fun of some of our haters and some of the things that the girls see people say. They were like, hold on, what? Even the boys' dad said hello. And also, when they heard some of the rumors about what people are saying about my ex, like the whole chasing him around with a butcher knife, he was like, wait, what? He's like, I'm sorry, I just heard that briefly. He was like, who's saying that? So... yeah, that's funny. He goes, that's quite a tale, ain't it? And I'm like, yeah, these YouTubers are cutthroat.
That's funny.
Yeah, Cher's got a couple of really dedicated haters that are making up the craziest shit.
Oh yeah, there's always going to be people that do that. You know, I don't know too many creators that haven't gone through that.
How's your interview going? I'm sorry I wasn't watching.
Going good. Do you want to ask him some questions? I want to go for a smoke anyway.
But no, I'm not. I was just coming to say hi.
Now you can say hi to Mekcee.
What? Hi, Mekcee.
That's how you do that.
You're so fucked up.
Mr. Cher's like, I need a smoke break.
Yeah. I missed everything. Catch me up to speed.
Oh God, we went over a whole slew of things. We went over, it was a conspiracy with Summer. We went over the paranormal. We talked about where I originally got started. We talked about, my thoughts on the case, my thoughts in general as far as like paranormal and things with the case. And
oh man,
purple rain.
That oh my gosh, that last. I actually tried to take a screenshot of my arm, but it was coming out all wrong. So I was like, fuck it, because I wanted to show you, like, the hairs were standing up. Candace has called me a bitch several times, guys. I know what that sounds like, and I heard that coming through several times on your reading. I heard Don's voice. I even heard my own voice, which was...
Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird when you hear your own voice?
Yeah, it was very freaky, but I think I even put in the chat, like, whoa, close it. When you watch it, when I watch it, because, I'm very spiritual. I don't know what you call me, spiritual, but you can almost see with you and your friends there, it's like witnessing a pull of dark and light I was seeing, and I was like, like, I was actually really worried for you guys, and I was like, oh shit, maybe you should close this out. But
it's weird. I always push forward through it. Like, I'm always like about answers. Like, I'm like, let's get as much as we can. And I do feel bad for that's actually my cousin that was sitting next to me. He hasn't been on a lot of these different investigations so far. So he's wet behind the ears on it. And so when he got tugged, his jacket got tugged, he went white as a ghost. I mean, he was absolutely he was petrified with fear. You could see it in his face. I don't think he was really expecting something like that to happen. And so, I kind of chuckled at him at first until I saw his face. I was like, hi, you scared the crap. Oh, you really are. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, man. You okay? So, Mekcee, can you speak on how fallen angels present themselves? Well, fallen angels are, when you talk about in the Bible, it talks about Lucifer, which you guys might know as the devil, but it's Lucifer is actually his name. Took a third of the angels from heaven and was cast out of heaven. So pretty much he has a third of the angels. Well, you think about that. If we have a third of the angels, we're not sure how many there are, but they're pretty much here to wander the earth, until the judgment day when they originally go and, everybody's cast back in the pit of hell. But, what's their goal? Their goal is to create chaos, as much chaos as possible, and try to get you out of there. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, so a lot of times that's what you're dealing with when especially with the spirit box sessions. So, we talked about that a little bit about what we believe in the spirit box sessions. So
you would say then, well, how I feel, the fallen angels, the ones that are really trying to pull to the dark here are bad. Like, they do disguise themselves, because if you even read the Bible, Lucifer's very beautiful. He's like, they have a mask. It's a mask. So they want you to see them very sweet, very beautiful. Come to me. But really it's darkness.
Yep. Then that's why you see it. And I talk about it all the time. Why do you see them do things like that? Well, because if they can mimic a certain person or a person that you're familiar with, let's say you lost a grandma. You lost a grandma. So somebody that was dear to your heart. They start mimicking that person because why?
Yep.
Oh, that was my grandma. That's, somebody that was dear to my heart. Why? What would be the point of the mimicking? Because if you start mimicking somebody that you're familiar with and somebody that you have a heart for, then you begin to open up. And that's what they want. They want you to open and feel inviting, because then they can do things to like latching to you and then creating oppression, infestation, then oppression. And then they try to eventually get to demonic possession. But that's what they want. They want you to believe that it's either a child or somebody you're familiar with, or they do that so that you become like, oh, that poor person is still stuck here. So that's the whole reason that they do that, is trying to mimic so that you get comfortable. So you let your guard down and say, okay, well, go ahead and speak through me. Speak into me. Come into me and tell me what you want. And then now you just gave them permission. You just said, oh, yeah, go ahead, demon. Go ahead and come on in.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, you should never. I try not to, but it's hard when you're doing these cases. Like, I know you like you say, summer. I've done some very stupid things in the Watts case that freaked me out. But you should actually never go into any session. You guys, especially beginners, do not go in there and because, like Mekcee's explaining, the darkness puts a mask on and they will disguise themselves. So if you're in there, hey grandma, I want to talk to you, you're letting in the darkness, and you're gonna think it's grandma, you're gonna think it's whoever you're saying, and it's not. More than likely isn't, probably.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
and we could talk about we could talk about that all day. Like, we could go into scriptures.
I definitely want to have a show with getting into the more paranormal and having some of your stuff, because there's a few things. I'm going to finish re-listening to your last session, because I've been taking notes on that, and I want to go over that with you on a different show.
Oh, we've got, like, MJ's working behind the scenes, and she sends different clips to me, and there's some stuff that is going on I've listened to. Been listening to it because we're trying to break it down and hopefully get it out by tomorrow.
What do you think about that clip I sent you that can't be played right now?
It's an interesting clip. It's a very interesting.
You sent it to?
I had to when I was like, I have to send this to you, Mekcee, but we can't show it.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's, oh god. But there's so many different things in there too. Like it's just like when I was talking to the mister over here about, like how many cases have we been on where we found different ones. We were talking about, the Suzanne Morphew, where it came up with a person that she was having an affair with before, like a month prior to. Gabby Petito came out with the cause of death before it was released. Also confirmed that Brian Laundrie was dead, and confirmed how he had died too. It even had gunshots. Did you guys know it had gunshots?
Yep.
Like that in there too? Like, so it's like very specific. And we're talking like months or 2 months prior to in advance before any of this information is released. So, and that's really what we're hoping to get out of the Summer Wells case too, is get information that has yet to be released to try to help and find and locate and figure out whether she's alive or whether she's not. I mean, honestly, in our heart, we hope that she is alive. But we look at the reality side of it. It's been a year, and more than likely, unfortunately, that when it's been that long and that length of time, there's usually something that's happened, unfortunately. So how do you how do you know the difference who you're talking to with the evil of the good spirits? That's a hard one. And remember, what do demons do? They lie, trick, and deceive. So they're always going to try to get you to familiar. So even if you think you're speaking with a good spirit, doesn't mean you're speaking with a good spirit.
And that's it tricks even people like you've done it for a long time. It could still trick even you, right?
Yep. That's why you always have to take everything with a grain of salt. When you're doing these spirit box sessions, especially, you have to take everything with a grain of salt. What do? They lie, trick, manipulate, deceive, destroy. But in there's part truth. Why? So they can confuse. So
what you just described somebody very well in the Summer Wells case. Exactly. All that description, I can put that on one person.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You'd see that picture in the dictionary with that description.
And that's scary, isn't it? When you get people that are like that in real life, it's scary. And you start to wonder too, people that I talk about all the time, just like the Watts case. I think that there's a very demonic presence with this specific case. There's something going on that's deeper. It's spiritual warfare. And that's why you see such a disaster when it comes time to this. Like the Watts, you saw a circus. Now we're seeing the Summer Wells case. You have a circus. And when you start seeing that, what is that? Spiritual warfare. People start tearing at each other, and it starts manipulating and twisting and bending, and people think they're doing good and they're not doing good, and then they start hurting each other, and then they start going at each other, and it's like all those things. Well, how do you think that started? That didn't just start just because.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Because every human has their own personal demons, and the darkness likes to take that and play on it, people. And so when you have all of us online, it's...
Yeah, and it knows our weaknesses too. It knows everybody's weaknesses. It's like, how do you think that they come up with answers for the ones that we've got in the past? Because they know things that we do not see. You got to remember, these are inhuman beings. They've never been human. So when you're talking about the spiritual, these things have never been human. So it stands to logic and reason, if you believe in that sense, that they know things that we don't know. And if they spent time with God, how many things do you think they know? How many things do you think that they know how to communicate with each other, how to know things prior to things happening, how to know things about people's weaknesses, how to play off of those? They know those things. They were taught these by the man himself. Brendan Dassey. Yeah, we actually have that on the list. Teresa Halbach for the Making a Murder. Yeah, we actually have that one, checking convictions. We actually have that one on the list for the Making a Murder, the Teresa Halbach. So eventually we're going to get to that one.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, that right there is another holy smokes case. I know it's kind of faded out because I think they're having a hard time trying to get both Brendan Dassey and Stephen Avery out. I know that they're having a hard time. I don't think that county's going to let their grips go out of them.
No, there's too much at stake. They can't. Yeah,
they got a death grip on it now. It's like, if they let them go, just imagine what's going to happen to their county. Just imagine what's going to happen if they let them out. If they're going to fight it tooth and nail. They went all the way to the Supreme Court to battle this.
Yeah.
They're prepared to battle to the death on that case. Yeah, it's going to be a really interesting case when we do. I wish it would get more attention because that case does need more attention. You need to get it back on track. That's what sucks about some of these cases, though. You'll see that. You'll see they come and go in waves. And it's like, you know, it goes popular, and then people get demotivated because you're not getting any answers and you're not getting anywhere, and it's just spinning in the same circles. And then it goes. Everybody forgets about it, starts sweeping it under the rug. It sucks. Some of these things you got to remember take years and years and years. Years and years.
Yeah, they do. And you don't want to let a case go, but the other side, there's other cases that
need attention.
You want to pursue. Yeah. So
that need attention.
It's hard.
It is. It's the juggling balance, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the tough part. Juggling it. How do you juggle it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, is that a Cobra? What is your shirt? Is that Cobra Kai?
Yeah, that was my Christmas present.
That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, we're big Cobra Kai fans.
Yeah, it gives me a good vibe. It reminds me of back when I was a kid. We used to watch that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I always go, Donna-san! Paint the fence.
Oh God, I can't remember how many times we would do that.
Yeah, Mr. Miyagi, boy, he was awesome, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Wasn't he? What was he in? Was he in Happy Days, or wasn't Mr. Miyagi in like Happy Days or something prior to that?
He was in something.
It was like an old school show.
Maybe he was. I can't remember, but yeah, I know he was in something before the Karate Kid.
Yeah, I think it was like Happy Days or something like that. He was like a cooker. I don't remember, a cook or something. He used to wear like a white apron, I think. I'll have to look. Now it's gonna drive me nuts. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Sharon Tuck says yes, he was the diner owner.
There was. Thank you. I knew it was something like that. That's crazy. That was the good days. That was the good old days.
Yeah, things sure have changed from back then. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I would think would have been the golden age to live in? The 50s. Like with the greasers, towards like the greasers era. That's when you used to get down and dirty. If you had a problem, you fight it, and then with your knuckles, your burn knuckles, you go fight it out, and then you're fine. I remember my grandfather was talking about one time they had a problem. Hey, what's up, Jim K? My husband is jealous of your sweatshirt. Yeah, it's an awesome sweatshirt.
Yeah, I love it. And I got the matching pants too.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm all geared up.
You are. Oh man, you're all Cobra Kai out. So what do you think is going to happen in that too? What do you think is going to happen in that series? Because they're supposed to bow out. Both of them are supposed to bow out because they lost that challenge. But I think it's because they're going over to, what was it? Daniel went over to, what's his name? The guy over the Okinawa.
Oh, Chosen.
Yeah. He went over there and do that. So I think they're probably going to try to get together and combine and make their own dojo.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna get crazy. I don't know. The last season, I wasn't crazy about it. I don't know if they had a different director or something, but just watching it, they were really overdoing this orange and blue contrast with the lighting and the filming.
Yeah,
it really took me out of it. Most people don't notice that kind of stuff, but I'm like, what are you doing? This isn't the Transformers, it's Cobra Kai.
You guys are killing me. What's going on here? Yeah, that's what sucks when they change things up. Don't change it. Does anybody else have any questions? I guess I should ask if anybody out there has any other questions about I don't know, paranormal, spirit box sessions, anything. Does anybody have any questions about that out there? I don't even have my phone up, so I'm not even looking at the chat. I feel bad. Haven't even been looking at the chat.
I haven't been either that much, actually.
I'm the worst.
Yeah.
Hey, what's
Any
up,
of
Wendy
y'all out
Lynn?
there got questions for Mekcee? Now's the time. When is the next one?
The next Spirit Box session? Probably on Wednesday. We do things on Wednesdays and Saturdays. So the next Spirit Box is probably Wednesday. I don't think it'll be summer. Because summer, we're going to break down that one. So we're hoping that the summer wells one will be broken down by tomorrow. So we're hoping that we can get it done. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort to break these things down and really get into them and figure out, because you have to know, A, you have to know about the case, B, you have to do it out. So I'm thankful that I have a team to help out with this stuff. So, but you have to know about the case. You have to listen to it. You have to be able to identify, is it relevant to the case? Is it not relevant to the case? The responses that we're getting, are they accurate? Can you hear it clearly? Which I will say this, during that session, I don't know if you know what a Class A EVP is, but it's like one of the best ones that you can get as far as a voice talking with nothing. And did I freeze?
Oh, that's trippy.
Holy smokes, that's weird.
Well, as soon as you start talking about that,
Isn't that weird? That happens to me more often than not, too. I'm going to have to scoot over here now. I'm all optional high five, Mekcee. That's a trip. See, it happens. People think this is a joke, but when you start talking about the spiritual and the paranormal stuff, this is the kind of stuff that happens. This stuff right here. I know it sounds silly. I know it sounds goofy. It starts happening, though. That is.
Well, I've always heard that spirits, they wreak havoc on electronics.
Oh, yeah, absolutely they do. I've had it drain my batteries. I've had it shut down my equipment. I've had to do all kinds of things. Mm-hmm. Maybe if I could go like this, maybe I could put my head back into it.
I wonder how long it's going to stay like that.
I don't know. Probably indefinitely. There we
go. Small town need tips on quieting this ghost here. Oof.
If you don't want a ghost in your house or something that's in your house, I would suggest you demanding and taking authority to it and telling it that it's not welcome. And it depends on the level of how bad it is, because if you're talking about a really bad level and it's malevolent and it's creating bad things, then you're probably going to want somebody to come in to cleanse your house of that. But if it's not a crazy level, I would say that you yourself can go and say, hey, you are not allowed to be here. I do not allow you or give you authority to be in this house, and you must leave. I always do a walk around through my house, but I'm a little bit more spiritual with things, so I start pleading the blood of Jesus over my house. So it depends on if you're spiritual too. If you're spiritual and you believe in Jesus Christ, I would say pleading the blood of Jesus over your house and walking around it and claiming that and demanding that it get out of your house. Now, if you're not, there's another avenue to go that's kind of the same, essentially the same thing. Some people believe in stages and things like that. So they teach in demonology too about doing that throughout your house with the sage to go and do that. I wouldn't suggest that myself. If you're going to do it, I would say do it without sage and just go around the house and tell it, hey, you don't have authority to be here. You need to get out of my house. You need to get out of my house, and just keep going around here until it doesn't have an authority to attach to you or stick to you. And yeah. And it'll do one of two things. Either it's going to get pissed off and create something worse, and then you already know that you have something worse on your hands. And if it does, you need to get somebody spiritual to come in there and help cleanse. Or it'll go like you said. But once you do it too, a lot of people make the mistake of going and re-interacting with this thing. So when you do it, don't re-interact with it. When you do it, go do your thing, tell it to leave, and then don't even acknowledge it anymore. Valkyrie's corner. Mekcee, my son passed a few months ago back. Sometimes I hear a cough in the living room. Are you saying it's not him and I'm being tricked? I would assume so. Yes, Valkyrie. I don't believe that a human soul gets trapped kind of like in between the medium. I don't think they would get trapped between heaven and earth here. Is it true that a spirit shows itself in child form? It's really a demon? I would say so, yes. Especially if it's an apparition. I would believe so. It does talk about in the Bible several times where God comes to someone in the form of an angel, but that's when he's speaking to somebody who he wants to try to use and who he is speaking directly to. And so he makes it known. So those are really the only kind of accords that you see. Now, there is another one where it talks, God, I could go into the spiritual stuff all day, where, they're talking to Lazarus and he's like, hey, can you please, I beg you, can you please go tell my brothers that, I'm down here, and please give them a heads up, hey, don't come down here, learn from me. So it talks about that, but then it also talks about in the Bible, there's another place in the Bible where it talks about one of the people where there was a lady had gone to, oh God, I can't even remember off the top of my head. I don't remember if it was, do you remember who it was? I'll have to look. I can't remember off the top of my head. Sorry. But essentially they brought somebody back, and he's like, why have you brought me back up here? That's the only account where you see somebody bringing somebody back up after summoning them, but it was underneath a special circumstance to them, and they were really pissed off about it. So that's the only place in the Bible that you'll find that somebody actually conjured up a spirit in the Bible. And it was because of God was asked to, Mekcee, are you ever fearful of spirits from cases you encounter attaching to? Let's see, let me read that again. Are you ever fearful of spirits from these cases encountering attaching to your spiritual? I'm not afraid. The only thing that I think about is because I have a family and I want to make sure that they don't have any issues or problems. So I make sure that I'm very careful about what I'm doing. I have, holy water from the Jordan River where Jesus was baptized. I'll go around the house and bless the house and walk around and do this stuff. I think it's very, very important that you, if you do this stuff, that you know. And I try to tell everybody, know what you're doing before you do it. So am I fearful? No, I don't get fearful of demons because I know God is bigger, essentially.
There you go. Truth Seeker's been trying to ask a question, and I've been missing it, apparently. She said she's going to just message you.
I'm asking you spirit box. I'm reading here. Specific spirit name. Okay, yeah, please do, Truth Seeker. We tried to call out the demon last time to figure out what their name was because I knew we were speaking to a demon last time. Are there many times you feel the demon is seriously attaching himself to you? I feel like I can feel the presence of them trying to and attempting to, but because of, I'm a believer and Christian, and I take precautions, I know that my body rejects them in a sense, if that makes sense. If you say prayers to cast out demons, does it make it safer to do spirit box sessions? If you say prayers to cast out demons, well, you have to be spiritually ready for warfare in a sense, Diana. So if you say prayers to cast out demons out, does it make it safer to do spirit box sessions? I would say if you're protected by the blood of Jesus Christ and you're very into that, yes, I say that you are protected from them, but it doesn't give you, it gives you a form of protection. But there could be people that are not spiritually sound and say prayers and still get attacked. So you can't go into it thinking that you're not going to get attacked by a demon, essentially. Like, because they'll try to attach you. They'll try to attack you. So you have to be ready for spiritual warfare.
Yeah, always expect it.
Yeah,
it's gonna come.
Yeah, well, and they'll try to make it come. I'm still tripping out about this screen here. Ripping me out, man.
If I solo you and go back, if that'll change it.
Or maybe if you remove me and then add me back to the stream, maybe that would do it.
I'll try that. Nope. That's just the way it's gonna be.
That's so crazy. You guys witnessed it firsthand. This is the first time, by the way. I've had an issue because I have that new GoPro Hero 9 that we use. This is the first time I've ever had an issue with that. Thanks for I was just wondering who Mekcee prays to. Yeah, God. I pray to God and Jesus. Good questions. You guys have good questions today. I usually get some weird questions, but you guys have had some good questions today.
You can tell that everyone's more focused on the paranormal side of things.
A lot of people have questions about the paranormal.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't understand it. It's very intriguing.
Where did that go? Someone's asking about the West Boys. Have you done a Spirit Box session about the West Boys?
I have not yet. I have not. Sandy. Sandy's one of the followers on my channel. Hey, what's up, Sandy?
Yeah.
There's all kinds of cases. We could be busy for the rest of our lives doing cases. There's so many different cases out there, especially of missing children and abused children.
Yeah, there's no shortage, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know. That's the sad part. It's sad when it's a child too, because they haven't got to fully live their life yet. So it's tragic and it's sad. But one thing that I do take comfort in is, and I do believe that they go directly to heaven if they've been, if it's a child, I believe that they're with Jesus right now. So that's.
Yeah, I don't believe that original sin crap from the Bible.
No, because nowhere in the Bible does it originally say that. And we're talking about, when we talk about that stuff too, we could get into all that, but we're talking about Old Testament. Old Testament, they didn't have a way to come to Jesus before, so they would have to do things like sacrifice and things, because Jesus hadn't come down to the cross yet to pay the price for the sins. So it's by grace that we're saved. It's not by anything that we do. It's by grace that we're saved. So, why would that be different for a child? Well, because a child knows no difference between the right and the wrong. Are we born into sin? Yes, we're born into sin, but God is a loving and a just God. He doesn't. He's not going to take and hold into accountability somebody who can't account for a sin that they don't know that they're committing. That'd be like saying somebody who's never heard the thing about Jesus Christ. I believe we're all instilled with, like, we call it a conscience, but I believe we're all instilled with a right and a wrong from God, because remember, we're all made in His image. Do you call them the archangels? I don't, Whispering Hope, because I don't believe. Like, I know that they are. I know that there's, like, just like Michael. Michael's one of the most battle tested angels alongside God. But I also believe that it talks about in the Bible that you're supposed to cast your cares upon God. Whoever, if God is for me, who could be against me? You pray to Jesus, you pray to God, you believe in His protection more so than you would Michael or any of the other archangels. Is it hard to get a reading if a tragedy has happened or near first spiritual grounds? Would it be a mashup of chaos? It's always a mashup of chaos. Whenever you do a reading, because you have to remember and take into account what are you talking to. And 99 times, I bet you, we're not speaking to anybody we think we are. We're talking to demons. So it's always chaos, honestly. Like, if we're talking truthfully, I believe it's always chaos. In your opinion, are your viewers protected while watching? I do a prayer over my viewers to cast out in the midst of. I do it before now, and I do it after, to try to protect everybody from it. But when you do watch this stuff, you may not know it, but you do open yourself up to those things. So, this is the prayer that I say. In the name of Jesus Christ, I command every demon and stronghold to get out or get off of this person. Now, who is listening to this, I command every attack from the enemy to be broken, every stronghold, every principality to be gone in Jesus' name. Any curse, hex, vex, or witchcraft, I command you to be gone right now in Jesus' name. I plead the blood of Jesus over the person listening to this right now, Lord God, that you would Set them free from every scheme of the enemy. God, I pray that you will expose the darkness and all of it would leave now in Jesus' name. Get out of the body, get out of their home, be gone from their lineage. In the name of Jesus Christ, let this person be free now in Jesus' name. I always try to carry that on me now so I can pray over, whoever's doing a session. I know not everybody will agree with it or believe it, but I try to do my part. Oh, Mekcee looks warped right now. Yeah, that's what we were talking about, Cher. When we started talking about the spiritual on it, like we'd jump back into it, and then all of a sudden my screen went.
Yeah, I hope your camera isn't screwed up.
Nah, it won't be. I know it won't be. I'm like, we just got this like not too long ago.
Pat, yes, you can. I'm sorry. I'm missing a lot of questions. I can only...
Yeah, there's only so many. It's tough. Like, people don't know how tough it is, like, when you trying to do it. That's why I have such a hard time, like, when I'm trying to do the live and then trying to get through the questions.
Someone had asked if you think evil people can ever be forgiven by God.
Everybody can be forgiven by God. Everybody.
Yeah. That's what I believe too. I know people always mock
created. God says we're all equal and that he forgives everybody the same. So there's nobody that's different.
Yeah, people always mock the religion. I can do whatever I want. I'll just recant on my deathbed and I'll be fine. That's not how it works, though. You have to be legitimately sorry for what you've done.
You have to actually be sorry in your heart for it, and you have to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. And a lot of people say that, well, I'm sorry. Well, yeah, but did you accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior? Did you do that prior to it? Because you can't just say I'm sorry and then expect God. Oh well, okay. Well, yeah, you did that your whole life. It's different. It talks about those things in the Bible. I don't want to go too much into it, but you have to have a actual heart of remorse, because it says in the Bible, God looks at the heart. And if your heart is not truly remorseful and you say this just to try to, CYA, cover your ass, if you try to do those things to cover your ass, God's going to look at your heart and be like, depart from me. I never knew you. Like, why would he say that? Well, because you didn't. You weren't really truly sorry for what you did in your heart. So, he can't have that. And God, people always say, like, why is God so mean? Why is God so mean? He would cast somebody into hell. God didn't. It's not sitting here making the decision. Like, he gave us free will. He doesn't want us to be robots. So he's giving us free will to choose what we want to do. He wants us to go to heaven. He wants us to be there. But a sin, people forget that a sin is a separation from God. God is holy. He cannot have sin in his presence. So if you think about it in that sense, it makes sense. Why does God have to send someone to hell? Because if they have that evilness in the heart, if they have that, God is perfect. God cannot have something unholy in his holiness. So it's not him making the decision to cast somebody. It's us making the decision to not accept him, not, ask for forgiveness, us not to take his grace and his forgiveness and his gift that he gave us, essentially. So essentially, it's us making the choice. We make the choice.
Yeah, we decide where we go.
Yeah. Where or who have you had the strongest reading on? So far, the Gabby Petito case was probably one of the strongest readings. Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie.
My computer just froze.
Spiritual warfare. Which is okay, because I probably better get going, honestly, too, anyway, Prairie Boy. I got to get to my son's wrestling match. I'm supposed to. My wife was just calling me. She's buzzing me. She's like, where are you at? Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm on my way. This is awesome, though. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you guys. And thanks, everybody, for all of the awesome questions. Like, those were awesome questions. I'm honored to be able to answer them. Thank you.
Well, yeah, I was really looking forward to this. I'm glad you came up, man.
Well, I'm glad too. We should try to do this a little bit more often. You guys have been doing awesome things, so my hat's tipped off to you guys. You guys have been been trying to make a difference in the best way you guys can, and I've always been had the utmost respect for you and how you handle things as well too, even with the hate and drama. So have the utmost respect for you.
Well, thank you very much, man, and likewise. I love what you're doing with your stuff. We never even got to talk about all your music. I guess we'll have to do it again.
Yeah, we will. We'll talk. This is not the last time we'll talk. We have a lot more things to discuss, and we can do another session where we can talk about, and answer any other questions that anybody might have. But this is right in my wheelhouse. So if you guys have further questions or anything, I'm more than happy to. We'll set something else up again, and we'll go over some more questions that you guys might have. So
sounds good, man.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, Mr. and Mrs. Cher. Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it. Everybody out there who watched us today, thank you so much. We appreciate you, and I hope we got to answer some of your guys' questions, and I hope you guys had a good time.
Bye, Mekcee.
Bye. We'll see you, Mrs. Cher. All right, Mrs. Cher. You guys have a good one. We'll talk to you guys later. Bud. All right. Thanks, brother.
Later, man.
See ya.
Okay, I'm going to switch over to my phone here because my computer froze up. Probably going to echo really bad for a second. All right. Yeah, damn computer, it lasted a little over an hour. Yeah, that was a good one. It was a great morning coffee. And yes, if you haven't subscribed to Mekcee, you definitely should. Now I'm messing things up. And so, yeah, we didn't. I didn't get to everyone's question because it's just there's too many coming too fast, and I just can't. So, wasn't purposely ignoring anybody. That's just when you got 400 people and 50 of them are asking questions. There's just no way to get them all. We'd be here for hours. Uh-oh. Just heard a bang and shit. Something happened to shit. Yeah, True Seeker. Yeah, reach out to Mekcee. You didn't break your phone, did you? Okay, good. Oh. So how's everybody's Saturday anyway? I didn't get a chance to really chat with you guys. Got to make your coffee? Oh no. Cher made my coffee today. I usually make it for her during the week. She makes it for me on the weekends. I'd love to see you do more lives on your channel on my own. Yeah, I get it. Because I know lots of people like to see just Cher on hers too. Like if we're always together, it's good, but we do got to do our own thing too. You think of fortune tellers? I think most of them are scam artists. But there are people out there who are legit. Oh, good, True Seeker. Better late than ever. Having coffee right now at 7:53 p.m. Rockstar and Doobies this weekend need a kickstart. Well, there you go. That's the problem. It's hard for us to go live at the right time for everyone because we got people all over the world, right? So if we go live early in the morning, it sucks for people who are on the West Coast. but that's great for people who are, in Australia or in the UK. Have a good shower, Valkyrie. Yeah, there's something very, very wrong with that. That reminded me, most of you have probably seen this, but I'm going to play it again anyway. I was going to do a Chris Watts documentary. I still will do the documentary, but it's going to be not Chris Watts specific. But anyway, here's the trailer I made. Deep diving into these cases is like dancing with the devil. But when you dance with the devil doesn't change. He changes you. I hope that played for you guys, because it wouldn't for me. It was just like stuck on something. We are having technical difficulties. Thanks, CBK. Yeah, the ending that freaked Cher out the first time she saw it. She's like, what the hell? Man, I can't read the chat now. Holy water. Oh, there's Mekcee. Thanks for coming on, dude. That was great. And if you haven't subbed to Mekcee, what the hell are you waiting for? Do it. The link is pinned in the chat. Do it. Got a carpool to a birthday party. Got to grab an extra cup of coffee now. This was interesting. Give me a proper scare, though. Now that years have passed, what are your thoughts on the Watts case, if you don't mind sharing, of course? Well, God, I don't know. I believe Chris was involved. I don't know if he was the only one involved. But yeah, he's definitely where he deserves to be, but I think he shouldn't be alone. Well, Max, it was an honor having you, bud. Now we got to do more true crime guys. We did that for a little bit, and then that just fell apart. Right on, Lori. Candace gives Summer edibles from the hippie shop. See open bag Skittles. I got home to Candace carry Summer out back to the woods, hand her off. Why did Don phone Candace? So, yeah, those are good questions. I have heard the Skittles things actually being edibles. Don't know. And stuff like that. I mean, all we can do is speculate, really. Overtaken by women. Well, true crime is like 95% women. I wonder why that is. Like, so few men are actually interested in true crime. I mean, we like action movies and
shootouts and stuff like that. But when it comes to real stuff, a lot of guys just aren't into it. Yeah, there are. I've seen pictures of them, and I would have thought that they would be like have like a huge label on there, but it isn't that big, and it does look like a regular Skittles bag. So that's why the theory were those edibles, and because she did go to the hippie shop, it could be, but again, it's just speculation. I personally don't think so, but I have no idea. Any videos somewhere on the 15th other than what Candace provided? I'm sure there are, but we'll never see them. Oh yeah, would love to have you on checking. Crime and conspiracy, go right on ahead. I don't know if you're a mod, and I can't do it on my phone though. But give it a shot. Oh yeah, I've watched some of those. What's that? The big one, Audit the Audit or something like that. I've watched him a few times. Wonder how much harm would come if she did eat edibles. Would depend how much. Hey, Kiko. Oh, you're on mine. Yep. Go ahead, post the link. Always leave these lives feeling love. That's good. There's the link. If anyone's looking for royalty-free music, go ahead and subscribe. Nice. Oh, Whispering Hope. Ask if Cher got my email about Jody Sue talking about smothering babies. I've heard of that before. Honey,
What?
did you get Whispering Hope's email about Jody Sue, something about smothering babies?
Yeah.
Yes, she did. That's just nasty. Jeez. This is a hot mess. Yeah. Half the time I don't know what the hell she's saying. Cher's doing good, Kiko. She gave me space for this one because it was just going to be the guys, but she came on for a little bit there. That's on your channel? Okay. Yeah, I haven't watched her a lot, but heard lots of not so nice things. And I feel you, small town. Yeah, she's all over the place and mumbles, and it's like, what the hell is she talking about? Life's too short. I'm not bothering with that stuff. Want to give Cher a big fat hug and a smooch? Mm-hmm. Yeah, she sure quite a bit. It's been doing that on YouTube lately. It bounces around. I know there's more than two. She's like all the rest, lies and deflections. Yeah. She wouldn't know what happened if it happened in front of her. Yeah. Like the one thing she was giving people the gears about referring to, what's his name, Andrew, as Baltimore. He's like, I don't even call him Baltimore anymore. And then 5 minutes later, she refers to him as Baltimore. It's like, all right, well, good job there. I know this could be out there, but could someone be wanting revenge on Don for the fact that he got that house property? Just thought about this yesterday. It is possible. I'd say that's more likely than some random stranger. Hey, Benny B. I don't think she has spoken to him since that night. I don't think so. Well, the funny thing about that is she was getting shit on for even talking to Don back when she was interviewing him. And then once other people started interviewing him, all of a sudden that's all okay. And now as soon as she mentions anything, it doesn't matter. She could make a video where she runs into a burning building and saves a puppy, and people will find a way to hate her for it. It doesn't matter what she does. And they'll just make shit up like this. Yeah, they'd say she started the fire or whatever, or she ate the puppy. I don't know. It doesn't matter what she does. People are going to hate her. And people will just make up lies about her. You know, personally, when people say shit about me, like I've heard people say that I'm on meth and I don't have MS and whatever, and I don't care. But some of the shit they say about Cher is vile. It's evil. And how people can actually believe it is beyond me. I don't get it. People are just very, very gullible. Cutie. Yeah, I think I know the one you're talking about. There's one who's going real hard at her. Yeah, she is pathetic. She's trash. Cher's done nothing to her. But yeah, all creators get their hate. I get very little, so I'm fortunate. I do get some, but I do try and stay away from the drama as much as I can.
Ready for the day.
Ready for the day.
YouTubing. Hey, sir.
Yeah, haters gonna hate. Fingers gonna fing. But all right, y'all. I think we'll cut it off because we're going live this afternoon.
Yep.
On Cher's channel, right?
Yep. In 3 hours.
In 3 hours, Voices Behind the Wall. And then tonight, the usual Saturday night with Mr. and Mrs. Cher. So.
But my friend's Sabrina, maybe her boyfriend.
Ah, okay. We will have guests. So that'll be great. But yeah, I want to say thanks to Mekcee again for coming up. Appreciate you, dude. And can't wait to do it again. And thank you to all of you for coming by. Had a new member. I can't remember the name, but welcome. And a couple super chats. Always appreciated. You guys are awesome. And yeah, we'll see you later on this afternoon. And until then, this is Prairie Boy 77, aka Mr. Cher, saying good day, good night, and Godspeed. Later, peeps.